I'm Austin, and this is Dungeons and Dracon Beams.
Previously on Dungeons and Dracon Beams, the coyotes took slow circles around the badger's den, sniffing the ground as they went. They were hoping to entice the badger into a mutual hunt, something coyotes and badgers were known to do in the warmer parts of the year. As the cunning hunters approached, a commotion drew their attention. Multiple sets of amber eyes focused on the crunching, squelching, and grinding mass of feathers as neoplasm swelled in fleshy pink lumps out of the hawk. More birds surrounded the badger, and the coyotes drew in closer, looking for an opportunity for a quick meal. The badger tried to charge past one of the now not-so-bird things, and they grabbed at it. The coyote pack drew back as a larger, unknown animal emerged from one of these bodies. Blue hair, and a body almost like a deer but larger, with a human torso attached at the waist. On the head there was a pair of eyes where it would be on a human, but no mouth, and a second set of eyes perched atop two stalks. And then the tail, the large scorpion tail with a wicked blade on the end. Even not knowing what this creature was, the coyotes knew this was not something they wanted to fight. And as they watched the humans, a species they knew to be wary of, they took down the badger. Intimidated by the blue deer-like creature, they made a run for it, missing entirely the part of this where the badger was released safely back to its burrow. Large flat bills made for snapping up aquatic invertebrates were tucked tightly under waterproof feathers as a couple ruddy ducks floated through the marshy parts of the pond. A short distance away, a couple more ruddy ducks were diving and feeding. They were the first to notice the nocturnal hunter gliding over them, and with startled hisses they began to snake through the reeds before exploding in a flurry of wing beats. As talons closed over the shoulder and chest of one, their heartbeat vibrated in fear against their keel, but the snapping beak never closed on their head. Instead, they were taken and deposited into hands, passed around until they tilted one giant black round prey animal eye and found themselves looking up into four vivid green alien eyes. The kingfisher had no such warning. It was asleep on a branch, recovering from its recent illness, when something closed over its body. That crest would have flashed up in a startled instant had there been any feathers there. Being passed around, it took quick jabs and nips at the horrid beast that had it held, and it was successful, because soon after their hands released and the kingfisher regained their freedom, flitting away into the night. Between ducks that migrate primarily at night and owls guiding them with vision that lights up the night sky like day, it was no feat for the Humanimals to fly over the military base that was their target. Eyes made for looking through the refracted surfaces of water suddenly saw with new clarity generators and a hatch below them, pushing their plan further into refinement. That was just a waypoint, though, on their routes home. Dylan made it home to her father, who had made her dinner and was delighted to sit with his daughter after his absence, basking in the glow of new love. Zach melded back into a normal evening at his home, with his mother's amazing cooking, his dad drinking beers, and watching Gordon Ramsay as a family until he slipped away into his room for the evening. Kamren and Savannah at Pacific Towers, with the strange group of misfits they had formed, had a tense conversation regarding his odd behavior around Dylan, and Kamren promised to resolve it. All of them fell asleep, their final night of peace and rest before the impossible mission ahead, and every one of them fell into nightmares, witnessing the death of innocent people, of pain, of failures, and for Dylan, the unexpected return of her mother. She was wounded and bloodied, but it was her mom, and she knew entirely too much.
My name's Kamren.
My name is Zach.
My name is Savannah.
My name is Aximili Escaruth Estil.
My name is Dylan.
What's worse than homework, parents, and acne?
Betrayal.
War.
Murder?
Brussels sprouts.
Doing it all while trying to stop an alien invasion.
Duh.
Aliens that crawl into your ear and take over your brain.
Mimicking your every thought, reliving all your memories.
Living life as you would, flawlessly deceiving your friends, your family, pretending to be you.
I'd rather die.
Stay on script.
What's even worse?
Mr. Statoric.
The only thing that stands in the way of complete takeover of all humanity is 4 teenagers and an Andalite.
I am the Andalite.
Yeah, you're the Andalite.
We also have the ability to morph.
It's amazing.
An Andalite technology.
Stay on script. The ability to...
Right. The ability to turn into any animal we can touch.
Lions.
Tigers.
Orangutans.
We must be extremely cautious. We can't trust anyone, thanks to my...
Kamren.
Okay, you read it then.
Fine. We can't trust anyone. Controller or not.
We have seen what happens when we are too trusting.
So now, there's only us.
Only us.
Only us.
Only us.
Because anyone could be compromised. Anyone at all, can be a controller.
Yeah, dude. Even you.
As you all get less than a restful night's sleep, the morning comes. First, we'll start off in Pacific Towers. Is there anything Savannah wants to do with the Andalites before they head out to grab the rest of the materials that they need?
I don't think with the Andalites, I don't think she has anything. Like, if they have questions about, like, the plan or whatever, she'll, like, go over that again with them, but I don't think she's given them anything new.
So they're going to grab anything else they might need from the cabin. Matea has some stuff she needs to make and bring that back while you guys are at school.
Some stuff.
Some stuff. And so with anybody else, is there anything you guys want to do in the morning before heading to school?
Check my messages.
You have like the bare minimum messages that you always get from your stuff, but nothing standing out.
Nothing major. All right. That was it.
Nothing.
Then the time for school arrives. You guys get to school, set out into homeroom, make it through homeroom, make it through first period, and about 10 minutes before the bell rings, the teacher's aide, Samira, comes to the door and gives Mr. Statoric a note. As he reads the note, he looks up and he says, Kamren, you've been called to the counselor's office. Kamren looks up from a notebook he was starting to try to draw in, but it still kind of looks like scribbles. But he looks confused towards Savannah and kind of shrugs his shoulders, gathers up his stuff, and leaves the classroom. You guys got 10 minutes left of class. Mr. Satoric is just giving you statistic problems to work out.
Zach's going to try to finish his nap.
Savannah's gonna raise her hand.
He's looking down at his desk. He hasn't looked up.
It's fine. She'll wait.
He looks up. Yes, Savannah.
May I go to the bathroom?
He looks up at the clock. You can't hold it for 5 more minutes.
Girl problems.
Say no more. He pulls out a little slip out of his desk and jots his name on it and offers it up to you.
She'll grab her stuff, grab the slip, and head out, but she's heading towards the office where Kamren went.
Anything for you two in the class? Zach's finishing his nap.
Yeah, Zach's good.
No, I think that Dylan is going to make sure that she has everything written down off the board, just in case. I know that Savannah did get it all and has probably already finished it, but just in case.
Savannah's already submitted the correction email of all the things that he got wrong. It's set on a timer.
We'll just turn that computer off. It's fine.
Just unplug that cable.
Savannah, you make your way down the hall and you get to the counselor's office, and you see that this room has windows in the hallway that you can just look into it. These big 6-foot windows that sit in the wall, and you can see Kamren in there talking to the counselor. Nothing crazy is happening in there. They just seem to be talking, and then the bell rings, and you see her look at him and nod, and he picks up his stuff, starts to walk towards the counselor's door.
She'll just wait in the hallway for him.
He comes out and not jumps or anything like that, but looks up when he sees you, oh, hey, what's up?
Everything okay?
Yeah. It wasn't anything important.
Important in what regard?
At all. He kind of laughs at the end of that. Well, apparently OG Central tried to run the payment on my dad's credit card for the Australia trip, and it didn't go through. So, and the deadline passed a week ago. He shrugs.
Are they extending it
They already did.
anymore?
Nope.
Do you want to go?
I did, but, this kind of actually frees me up.
For what?
Anything. The last thing that I was kind of waiting for. We have this all going on now, and his voice gets a little bit lower. But what are we really doing here still? Football conditioning is over until the summer. Australia trip is now out for me. I don't really have a lot of reason to stay in this school anymore.
To graduate and get credits to go on to further education or trade or whatever you want?
He will start walking and with you, not leaving you or anything. He'll lean in. Do you really think all that is gonna matter?
I think she's genuinely going to get tense and then kind of step in front of him to cut him off and be like, that matters a lot. If there's an after this, then there has to be an after this. Otherwise, why are we doing any of this?
I think that we're doing this for everybody else. So there can be an after this for them.
I think there could be an after this for you too.
Maybe. But I don't think it's going to be playing football.
How do you know?
It just seems like there's more important things that I need to do now. And is after this going to be in a year, 2 years?
We don't know. We have to prepare for every contingency that we can.
Well, okay, then another question is, are we going to finish this in 3 months? Because if not, I should probably think about what I should dedicate my time to.
I don't know if we will. But you should think about what you want to dedicate your time to.
What else do I have here? I'll stay at least as long for the to make it to the dance. But after that, really, Savannah, what else? I'm barely passing with you helping me with my homework.
But you are passing, and all of your grades are going up.
If I wasn't here, I could do other things.
Like what?
Could be helping the Andalite. He's slow. He's looks around as he stops talking. I could be helping with other projects.
And you could help with other projects in a year or two when you're done with high school.
Or when it's too late.
Well, that would be a failure on all of our parts.
Maybe, but I can do my part.
Well, think about it more. If you want to do the Australia trip, let me know. I have a few things that we could probably figure it out with.
Yeah, maybe. But what about Dylan? Is she going to be able to go on the Australia trip?
I don't know.
I guess we'll see how it all plays out then. He seems to think for a second. Roll me an insight check.
Do you have advantage on that? 19.
I'll say you get a read on him. He's mulling something over in his head. You can just tell, Kamren. He's when he's got an immediate thought in his head and when he's thinking about something over time. And he has that look in his eye like he's about to do something today.
Okay. You described it as such, so I'm just going to react to it as such. I think she'll just say, whatever you're thinking of, it can wait until after this mission. Give it some time.
Well, I was actually thinking about taking the rest of the day. Get a head start on tonight.
And just skipping school.
Yeah, and maybe we all should. This seems pretty important.
is very important. It's probably one of the most important missions that we've ever done. But school is important too.
He like smiles at you, like a half smile, and like looks down. So Mr. Statorik's class was more important than what we could have been doing.
Savannah gets like the 1,000-yard stare. I don't think Mr. Statorik's class is important for any. He's genuinely teaching people incorrect information. That's what's infuriating about it.
But he's a good guy, you know, and I like the way he talks to me.
That's all that matters to you, is how he speaks to you.
Well, in a teacher, I think that's important.
It's important to inspire your students to do good work. Unfortunately, they have to do work that is good.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? I'm not gonna just up and leave if you don't think if you think it's a bad idea. But you are the smartest person I know. So I think if you really think about it.
Stop trying to do that.
What? Give you a compliment?
You're trying to make me fall into your line of thinking by saying things like that.
Well, yeah, because I think it's a good idea, but I also think you know that it's the best play. Logically.
I have completed our work for the entire week just in case we did die on this mission.
Yeah, he laughs at that. Oh, so he leans in. If we die, at least we got a good grades.
Yeah.
All right.
Fine. Let's text them.
Oh, so you're all coming.
What, we're going to make everybody else stay here? Mr. Statorik?
I thought only 14. And he like starts to look at his fingers. 24% of us were going.
That is such backwards math that I'm not even sure what you're trying to imply at this point. And I think that makes my point clearer.
'Cause a quarter
24% of what? 25%?
of everyone.
Of everyone.
Yeah.
So 4 of 6.
I didn't even think about them. Wait a minute, they're already out.
Who were you thinking about?
The people here. 24, 4 and a quarter. 24.
What?
I know a quarter is a 4. Has something to do with 4. Listen, do you want me to text them?
I have a new plan. I believe you should stay here, and maybe the rest of us will go.
Oh, I'll meet you outside. Unless you want me to show you how to get out of here. I'm sure you've never ran from a teacher.
No, I would just walk through the door.
And what if they say, hey, where are you going?
Have a hall pass.
You're ahead of the game. All right, let's go. I'll stay with you then.
Okay.
Students are starting to like file out now out of their classrooms. And I mean, you know where Zach and Dylan are.
So knowing that they're coming out of that classroom, Savannah will just head back that way to catch them in the hall.
I think Dylan's just gonna be like, she's got her books in one hand and she's just like, what? Like holding up her hand and shrugging her shoulders like, what's going on?
We're gonna go early.
Oh, they're no. Hang on. And she pulls out her phone.
Oh, wait, or did you? Zach puts a hand up to Kamren.
He high fives.
And he literally just about faces and heads for the exit.
Savannah will stay by Dylan, knowing that, seeing that she's doing things. Savannah will stay put.
Yeah. Dylan is texting her dad. Hey, Dad, started my period in class. Can I go home, please?
It takes a couple of minutes for him to read it, but when he does, immediately you see the dots. Yes, calling the school now.
Thank you. And then she's going to swipe over and message Peter and say, hey, had to leave early. Be careful going home.
You get a text. Is everything okay?
Yeah, just not feeling good.
I hope you feel better.
Thanks.
You guys just walk out.
Zach does.
Cameron's like, yeah, Savannah's got a hall pass. I don't see any teachers, though. He just walks out, too.
Zach's just blending in with the crowd. Like, if there's a bunch of kids in the hallway already, he knows they can at least get to the door. And then once he's outside, just bored on the ground, and he's off. Heading towards Dylan's car.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you guys go through the parking lot, who wants to call high or low?
Hi.
It's low, a quarter. You all get about halfway to the car, and you see that same security. Zach is at the car, but you see the same security guard that chased Kamren down when he jumped off the bus look up from his newspaper that he was reading.
Savannah waves and keeps walking.
Give me charisma,
Smooth
somehow.
motherfucker check.
Persuasion,
Give
deception.
me that audacity.
Yeah, the audacity check, please. Oh, you want persuasion or deception, or that's what you're saying?
Whichever you want.
Okay.
You do have advantage on that roll.
Don't need it. He crit one.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I love it when it works for me instead of against me.
Right.
He waves back at you and then goes back to reading.
He thinks you're a teacher. It's just like...
Probably. I'll prove it. I'll stand next to Mr. Statoric and teach a class, and we'll see
who learns more.
Does it better.
He goes, hi, I'm Mr. Statoric. And you go, no, I'm Mr. Statoric.
Savannah Statoric. That was her last name the whole time.
I can't tell her last names.
You guys get to the fucking car. What do you want to do?
Leave.
Yeah.
Can we go to McDonald's?
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of hungry, but can we not have McDonald's? Can we do Burger King?
Okay.
They got
Or Taco
croissants.
Ooh, breakfast tacos.
Burger King has croissants.
Yeah, breakfast croissants.
They do, it's true.
Yeah.
They're mid. Starbucks has croissants. And coffee.
Ooh. Starbucks?
Yep. Savannah's buying. Not it.
Not it. Can't be it.
I got...
Fine.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I got stars to use, but that's cool.
It's a lot of stars. He gets 18 shots in a thing. She says,
8
pointing
shots.
at Zach.
If you use 200 stars, it doesn't matter. Any handcrafted beverage.
It's true.
Whoa. I don't really need anything.
Free coffee, dude. And croissants.
All right.
That didn't take much.
You guys get some coffee and croissants and a Doc Ock.
Mm-hmm. Which is also coffee.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear. It fell into the category of the first thing you said, but I'm glad that you pointed it out.
We just always got to be Brandon. Hi, I'm Brandon.
This is not the time or the place.
That's the barista's name.
Yeah, that's what he says when you get to the window. Hi, I'm Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon.
He starts off every Starbucks interaction like an Animorphs book. Hello, my name is Brandon.
I can't tell you my last name because of Starbucks corporate
Or
policy.
where I live, because that would be weird.
That'd be really weird.
Here, if you want to use Apple Pay, that's fine, but you have to answer this question about a tip first. Yes, don't pay with Apple Pay, I see.
Yeah. No, they're always just it's going to ask you a question as though we don't know what the fucking question's going to be. Yeah.
Do you want to give me more money? Is what my guy says.
They're always coy about it. There's a quiz. I don't know what's on it.
I don't want any more money, but they want me to ask you.
I gotta give you the screen.
$5 tip. Thanks for my cough.
Do this every time?
Yeah.
So Zach drinks his coffee.
All right. Nice role play, man. Inspiration.
Yeah. Coffee drink. Thanks. Appreciate that. I'm still going to use it, so eat shit.
You guys get back to Pacific Towers just as the Andalites are arriving back as well.
I make a TikTok about it. There you go. Now it's good role playing.
A coffee TikTok?
Yeah.
Coffee talk.
You don't watch TikTok? There's a lot of dumb fucking TikToks out there.
Are you going to be on Coffee Talk now? You moving from Skate Talk to Coffee Talk?
Why not both?
Well, I just feel like most creators find their niche, and then that's like where they get the most engagement.
Yes.
I'm really about like breaking through those kind of boundaries, you know? I really want to like engage everywhere.
No, I get that, and that's cool, and I respect that, but I feel like when most creators do that, that's when they start saying, oh, the algorithm really screwed me over, and now I don't have as many followers, people are leaving, and it may not be the algorithm.
I have analyzed the analytics of the social medias, and oversaturation is a thing.
Yeah, so maybe it's more like I'm just getting some followers from different algorithms.
Yeah, dipping in somebody else's Kool-Aid.
No, it's coffee, dog.
Oh, somebody else's.
I also didn't like that. I don't know why.
You guys don't share Kool-Aid?
No.
Like from a pitcher?
Yeah.
I don't know the last time I had Kool-Aid, actually, so I guess I can't talk. I would probably share Kool-Aid if I had some, but like I don't have some, so.
I have a Kool-Aid recipe that I could whip up for us when we get back.
I think everybody has a Kool-Aid recipe. It's on the packet.
You know how some people use sugar?
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Mm.
So are we going to go soon, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we drop our stuff off and then head out?
Yeah. Zach turns his phone off.
Kamren starts taking his overshirt off.
Savannah will take a moment to let Possum out before they head out.
Kamren also takes off his shoes and puts them neatly by the elevator door.
Dylan is going to text her dad and say, went to Savannah's. My heating pad is broken, so I'm borrowing hers.
He'll write back, okay, he'll Apple Pay you enough to buy a new heating pad, just in case you need a new one. Tell Savannah she's great for letting you use her stuff.
Can do, thank you.
Did he also send a tip? Was that a question they asked before Apple paying? Or
that's only at
Dylan
Starbucks.
doesn't have Apple, so.
Oh, well, he sends it via.
I mean, she probably, her bank account is one of those like kids' bank accounts that's linked to his. So
He moves some money.
He just transfers it. Yeah.
Kamren puts the other half of his croissant into a little baggie and then like shows it to Max or to Aximili for you if you do a good job. And he like puts it on the counter.
Dude, don't do that.
What? He loves food.
Yeah, but you could just give it to him. It doesn't have to be tied to performance metric or whatever.
All right, man, you can have it no matter what, but I'll get you another one if you do great.
You shouldn't use foods as rewards. That's not...
Well, I would love it if somebody rewarded me with food.
Food's necessary. You should just
I
give it to people.
reward you with food all the time.
Right. Thank you.
Me?
No, her.
Who?
Dylan.
What?
what do you use instead of sugar?
No, yeah, I use sugar.
So it's just normal Kool-Aid.
We used to put grape Kool-Aid into our Welch's grape juice, and it was really good.
Double up.
Mm-hmm.
Grape?
I like to mix the packets.
Mm.
Like watermelon and blueberry and sugar and water.
Mixed flavors seems like something that the marketing team would have already done and produced.
Yeah, but they don't mix them all. You guys ever had an around the world?
What is fruit punch? Isn't that just a mix of all the fruits?
There is a 50% chance Kamren is going to work this into punching you now, Zach.
And he's got his fist balled up. Oh, puts it down. No, around the world's when you just do all the flavors.
Oh, a hurricane. Yeah.
Savannah's just gonna sigh, like open the windows, start morphing, and be like, "There's no possible way that could be good."
Oh, you are in for an. His mouth turns into a beak.
That never stops being gross and weird. And she starts morphing.
It's not good. And Zach starts morphing.
What birds are everybody morphing?
Shoebill. I just want to use it.
We're flying over a military base that is hyper alert to
I'll
animals.
never notice.
Pick a shoebill.
Duck.
Yeah, duck.
Well, if everyone else is going to be a duck.
Cameron's an osprey.
All right, good.
If I'm a
So
duck, you're a duck.
Crow, 2 ducks, and an osprey walk into a bar. What are the Andalites going to be?
Mateo will go duck. Aximili will go Northern Harrier because he knows that that's still good with the like eyesight. Unless Savannah has like specific instructions for morphing ducks.
Nope.
All right, whoever hasn't been a duck before, make me a wisdom save to hold on to your brain.
Roll20's not even trying anymore.
Yeah, you guys want to fly south for the winter or whatever, north for the winter. You guys want to fly and eat fish, but you guys are regaining control of your brains and want to fly and stop Yeerks.
I mean, I guess really the direction of migration that we want to take depends on whether or not we're a ruddy duck native to the United States or a ruddy shell duck native to the UK, because one is like a
Right.
north-south, one is like an east-west
Correct,
kind of a deal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously. God. Austin. Did they eat? I thought they ate plants.
No, they're not Sheldon ducks. They are regular
Yeah,
ruddy
Sheldon.
ducks native to the North Americas. So flower you wish.
First, I do walk into the kitchen and like pep my little feet across the tile floor.
As you pat in there, you hear as Possum runs around the side of the island and sees you and throws his paws down and like cocks his head at you and looks.
I'm just gonna stop and be like, Possum, no. Savannah?
He like jumps back and forth.
Savannah?
Leave it.
Your dog's gonna eat me.
Possum.
He like walks in a circle, does another circle and looks at you.
Good boy. And then I'll pep a few more times and fly to the window.
I like the idea that Austin isn't going to kill this dog, but he is going to make this dog kill.
Has he not already? Was that not what we learned in Megamorph's one?
Well, yeah, I guess this is where the villain arc starts.
They call me Austin Foreshadow It.
Oh shit. Where did that come from? That's so good.
I just found it.
Just on the floor. I picked it up and gave it to you.
You guys fly away. Mateo will say, I have a few items that we need to try to carry. Aximili and Kamren will say, we can carry it. There's a little satchel that they pick up.
Zach finishes morphing Crow and then looks at the ducks and goes, well, I feel underdressed.
But you look the most formal.
Yeah.
Oh. And then he takes his wings and he fixes his bow tie.
Ah, an African pied raven. I see.
Don't talk. Stop it. Zach leaves.
Birds fly together out of the window and spread out. You hear calls, Zach, as you lift into the air from Pacific Towers, but
I yell back.
Ah!
Just, ah!
yeah, they'll call to you as you leave, but they won't follow.
Okay.
You guys get to the military base where you're headed.
What's the name of the military base?
Fort Perrin.
Did we not already have a predetermined area where we were going to land that we figured out?
You do.
Zach will circle and land at the spot.
You guys get to your spot. You guys find a secluded area. There's some trees and some like old rundown shacks.
I think we just said a secluded area that was like wooded, like we could break line of sight and dig without being super obvious where we were.
There is like a little rundown little shack in here. It's not big or anything, but
Is it like a thing that like 12-year-olds built out of plywood in the woods?
Yeah.
Hammering it together with nails stolen from their fathers?
yes. Yes, and there's a nudie mag.
Of course there is.
We be
That
brimping.
tracks. What?
Brimping, when you find porns in the woods.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
I just assume this is up there with chirping.
It's no.
You guys chirp and brimp, and
Some of us summon worms. Some of us read porn. However you spend your time is up to you.
I mean, is there anything special y'all want to do, or just start digging?
Nope.
Please let me start digging.
You start digging. You demorph and remorph. I guess everybody make badger checks.
Roll for badger.
Mushroom.
Or do you all want to describe these?
I like to imagine the first thing that happens to Savannah when she starts morphing is she gets the black lines on her face of the badger's markings, and then it starts to like, slurp out into like the longer nose and the big sniffy thing, and then like the claws start like working out of her like fingertips, like her nails are like getting too keratin filled and hardening, and it's all gross. But then she starts shrinking and it kind of gets okay, and then the last thing is the hair.
What about you, Dylan?
I think that the first thing that happens with Dylan is that like her arms start to get a little shorter and like turn a little outward, and then her hands shrink into the little paw pads, and her legs are shrinking at the same time. So she essentially just looks like me in this moment. And then she sort of flops down, and then her fur starts to sprout everywhere, and yeah, she's just this like cute little guy who's probably very angry.
You're so angry, and there's other badgers around you, and why are they here? Why are they in your territory? Zach, do you want to describe your morph?
Yeah. So Zach watches Savannah and Dylan's happen, and then he like looks at Kamren and he's like, "Let's go, bub!" And he like tries to do a Wolverine pose, but then his butt just kind of turns into a tail instead of him getting cool claws first, and then he starts shrinking, and the claws come in pretty late actually, but he still thinks it look cool.
As you finish your morph and like look at Kamren goes, "Meh!" and he like lunges at you as a badger.
At me?
Yeah, cause also so does Matea. She like looks around and is like baring her teeth at the rest of you as well. What do you do, Dylan?
Yeah, she's got that like hunched down stance and is absolutely laying on the business, vocalizing.
I don't think you have control of this morph. That was to Dylan. I don't know. Has she noticed any of the others going?
I say you notice Kamren jump at Zach.
So that would be directed towards Dylan and Kamren, but like Zach will hear it too. So will Matea and Aximili.
Zach's reaction is going to be much more like, "Dude, chill. What the fuck, man?"
He is going to take one bite at you. One piercing to Zach.
Yeah. Zach just goes, "Ow, dick."
I think once a bite has happened, Dylan is going to jump into the fray, but going toward the most aggressive other badger.
Kamren.
Yeah.
Zach's going to try to get between them.
Savannah is just going to try to jump, like, to pin down whoever the closest badger to her is that's not in control.
Okay, so you three all roll initiative, and that'll decide in what order you all go. Dylan does get the jump on everybody else, so Dylan, you can go ahead and make an attack.
Oh no. I'm sorry, Kamren. I'm sorry.
A 6 misses. As we'll say, Zach jumps into the fray. How do you cause Dylan to miss Kamren?
I think I'm kind of like body checking Kamren, so probably just kind of push him out of the way. I'm also yelling like, can we get some help here? Like to Max and Maitea. Probably not realizing that Maitea doesn't have control, but...
Kamren goes, oh shit. Sorry. Dylan, you can also roll another wisdom save. And Savannah, what are you doing?
Savannah's just jumping at whoever the closest not in control badger is and just trying to like pin them down.
You see, as all this commotion has happened, Maitea just starts letting out like these little screeches from her little badger mouth. And yeah, you can try to jump on her.
Great.
I didn't like little badger mouth. I don't like that for some reason.
Strength or dex.
Okay. Oh boy.
You try to pin Maitea down and she like rolls over onto you and has you pinned down, and Aximili will come in and like help you and like jump on her back, but she's gonna get an attack against you since that was a crit one. It will be with disadvantage. A 6.
Ooh, that does not hit.
And Dylan, you have your mind back.
Yay.
Let's see if Maitea gets hers. Matea's like trying to shrug Aximili off and like baring her teeth down at Savannah. All of y'all see this.
Dylan is gonna jump over there. Yeah, she's gonna try and check Maitea off of Savannah.
As you like jump over and like shoulder check Maitea, roll a strength or a dex. Gotta be the 12. I'm gonna say with that you have advantage because Aximili is on top of her, on top of Maitea as well. So you hit her, and I'll give her a save for that. She shakes her little badger head. I am sorry.
I didn't like little badger head either.
Big badger head, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. That makes it better.
You guys have control over everything now.
Okay, so are we all just digging at the same time?
No, I think we have one person out front and the other people behind them to help move the dirt out of the tunnel as we go, and also build turnaround points.
Got it. Who's up front?
One of the Andalites, will you start us out so that we can use your sense of direction to get the right path going?
Yes, Prince Savannah. Aximili starts to dig. And as you all dig through this whole time, you're sifting through the earth and over little branches, like roots that grow down. You got to chew through them. Use the badger's mind along with the Andalite's guidance to tunnel safely. Deeper, deeper, deeper.
I feel like Zach at some point would just start singing songs.
Like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, like the tunneling?
No. There'd be ska songs and punk songs and shit, but, you know, just probably in his own head at some point, and then at first, and then at some point he would just start being like out loud. Well, out thought speak.
Every time Zach starts singing a ska song, like after the first couple, when it's clear that he's going to keep doing this, Savannah, every time he starts a new song, will say, and this one is a striped bass. Another rainbow trout song.
This does not deter Zach, I don't think. I think that he just
I
keeps
didn't
going.
think it would.
No.
A red grouper song.
I think whenever it's Dylan's turn to dig and chew and dig and chew, she's going to be like, some of these roots actually taste kind of good. Is that weird?
The badger probably likes them.
But I think that Dylan would like them too. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it tastes good.
We can separate some, Dylan. You can try them at home.
I don't think my teeth are going to do that. We could take them to our friend.
He would like that, I believe. That was Maitea. And you see her at that point, she'll like chew off like a long piece of one of the roots that you were like chewing and start to gather them up in one of the turnaround spots. You guys dig? Keep digging. Savannah's projected 3 hours was almost spot on. You guys get deeper and deeper down. Any extra time spent switching shifts or planning all takes up that whole 3 hours. So there are two things. So you guys have access in the bag that Aximili and Kamren switched off as they were flying here. There are the crystals, a few simple bombs that Matea has made. She'll actually say, I used what we had at the cabin to make rudimentary bombs. They have short timers. They can be set to 10 Earth seconds at most. And you also have the tablet in there with the blueprints to the upstairs warehouse and the downloaded blueprints to the underground. With that being said, where are you guys shooting for? Where have you told the Andalites you want to come in at?
I think, like, in the cavern, like, where are we trying to come in at?
Mm-hmm.
I think we are kind of at the mercy of the closest point, like, where we could start digging safely. I mean, preferably we come in kind of towards the storage area of the ship down, like, if it drops down where it would land, but I think we're kind of at the mercy of where we had to dig.
I think my only restriction for that is you all have to come in on the right side, unless you want to spend like an extra hour digging all the way around to the other side. So yeah, just somewhere on the right.
So did we want to shoot for one of these storage rooms, right? Like one of the ones in the back, so we can kind of set up there and then run in?
I wish I could tell you that I had this open, but it would be a lie.
So originally I thought we were coming from the left, and like this was the actual room that I've been eyeballing, but if we got to come in from the right, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it was because the right side was where the forest was, the left is city.
Gotcha.
And where would that ship drop down?
Xander has told you that he thinks it'll be in this area.
Okay, that big middle area. So what about that little offshoot? That little side room?
I feel like it's a little direct. Like, if we have to retreat to that room, we want to be able to lose people around corners and shit. That's why I was kind of voting for one of these back rooms back here.
We wouldn't, I mean, you're letting us pick, but wherever we come in, we wouldn't have any other, like, notice of this, or we kind of know where all of these blueprints are.
With the information you got from the Chi, having the actual blueprints, and with the Andalites, you guys can figure out essentially where all this is, like underground.
Do we have any concept of what these rooms are for?
No.
Okay.
Why don't we split the difference a little bit then? What if we come in somewhere around there and just spend a little extra time digging a tunnel off to the right here that would go into this room that we could kind of lose people around corners to get out, but like also has view into the main area. Yeah. So we have two options there.
So we want to come in here and then dig a tunnel up to this.
We could dig like a Y shape and just not bury through either one until we make the final decision of which one is better to go through.
So it's either here or here?
Yep.
Okay.
Because it would take 15 extra minutes if we're taking our most amount of time to like kind of do two offshoots, so we have both options.
For anyone who can't see what we're doing, there's a map with a whole shitload of rooms, and there's one really big room. And we're talking about either digging into the corner of the really big room or a different room that's like kind of attached to it by a hallway.
All right, so which side do you all want to make the hole in first? The big room or the offshoot room?
I guess the offshoot room.
Okay, and who is going to be the first person to like dig through that part?
I think I don't know if Zach is close enough to the front to see, but we're going to surely notice, right, that it changed from dirt to cinder block or whatever, right?
It's dug into dirt, and metal framework is the...
Okay, with metal framework.
What the Chi told us is that it was like mostly dirt, and then there's like metal structure to help, like, so it doesn't collapse in, basically.
Okay, so it's just a dirt wall. Okay, so we don't know that we're about to break through. Got it.
Yeah, it's kind of relying on, I guess, like the badger's inherent instincts of like, can we tell that we're coming to a space where the wall is giving way easier and know to kind of slow down?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If whoever's digging, I'm going to tell them what they see when they get down there. So,
Savannah, you're the boss. You have to tell us.
Boss shit.
I think Savannah then would just go do it herself. If we're doing options, then Savannah will just be like, all right, I got it.
all right.
That way, if she gets immediately destroyed, it's her own fault.
You get down to this room, and as you like dig a little bit closer, you see that there is metal that extends into this dirt that looks reinforced. And as you get to this room, you see that there are like metal sidings, metal sheets on this room that are kind of in place to help everything. I will say there is a space at the very top of this room where you can start to dig through to get in. Roll a stealth check if you're trying to do it quiet.
Okay. As a badger?
As a badger. You look into this, like the dirt starts to fall down silently little by little, and you like grab some and pull it back into your hole so you can peek through. What you see when you look into this room, in the upper right corner, you see not the biggest you've ever seen before, a spherical piece of alien technology. You recognize it. It's just smaller than you've seen before. It's a Kandrona generator. There's wires that spool out from it and wrap around that lead into what looks to be a pool dug into the ground of this cave, because there's like jagged rocks that kind of shoot up from the side of it. There's also a pier that's raised up a little bit from the ground, and that has like a metal piece over the pool for infestation.
Is there anybody in the room currently?
Yes, there are two people both standing on the pier. They don't look to be infesting or anything like that. They look to be just going about business, prepping things maybe.
Savannah will just relay back to them. This is a pool room, an infestation room. There's two people in here. There's a pier. There's Kandrona. There's a pool.
Well, it's going to be tough to get in there and morph and be able to take anybody out all at once.
Yeah. This is probably not the best way. Maybe we should try the other route into the cavern.
The big room?
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be people in there for sure. You're the boss. Let's go.
Who's digging this one?
Whoever's at the back of the tunnel.
Me.
As you dig up to this one, comparing what Savannah told you from the other one, there doesn't seem to be as many reinforced metal sheets against this wall. It seems to be more dirt. It's not as hard to get through, so you can basically go from any point in the wall to get through. And this part of the cavern does go 100 feet up to the surface, so you can pick where you kind of want to dig through.
If I get to pick, I'd like it to be near the floor.
Okay. Roll a stealth check with advantage.
16.
Yeah, you do the same. As your little nose and paws hit like open air, you scoop the dirt back in and kind of push it behind you and make the hole a little bit wider, and you can kind of peek through. Roll a perception check, Zach. There are a lot of objects in this room that are hard to see past. 8?
Fucking terrible. Well, I'm going to use my inspiration.
14. The first thing you notice is that this area is massive and it's open. You see that in the middle, the biggest thing that stands out is a huge mechanical lift that extends. It has a pole that extends all the way up to the ceiling. And you kind of get the feeling that's probably how they raise and lower the ship. Within this warehouse is other machinery as well. You can't really tell what they actually give me a technology roll.
Fucking this is bullshit.
Yeah, you can't really tell what they do.
Okay.
Immediately in front of you, you can see this big crate with like a glowing blue window on the front of it. There seems to be some kind of tubing that you could probably upright walk through as a human, kind of in front of you. Do see a few people walking around. Most notably is a Hork-Bajir to your left that's the closest one. You also notice 2 humans standing at a terminal within this big open area. There's also a door that you can see directly across from you, all the way across this room. You can't tell where it leads. And then you also can see kind of like this observation deck, but you're blocked. Most of your vision for that is blocked by the other objects in your way, the big extending lift and everything.
Yeah, I report back. Yeah, there's one Hork-Bajir kind of to the left of where I just came out of. A couple humans across the way. I can't see everything because there's stuff blocking the view. If we are going to come out here, I think we should at the very least split up and come out in different points.
I mean, we could maybe dig another tunnel a little further down just to give us another exit point here, but there's only going to be 3 of us down here, so I do kind of want to go fly, though, and just kind of give a quick pass of this room and see what's there.
Oh, okay. Turn into a fly, not just go fly around.
Well, one precedes the other, but yes, both.
Yeah, I got you. We could do that. We'll go back to the surface. You can demorph and remorph fly, and one of us can carry you down.
Maybe one of the turn back points will be big enough.
Okay. Honestly, we could kind of all do that, and then maybe find a better place to demorph and morph into what we're gonna fight with.
Dylan holds up her little badger paw.
Dylan?
I don't have a fly.
What insects do you have?
I've got Pip.
Have you morphed Pip before?
Mm-hmm.
I also do not have a fly. That's Matea.
Maitea, do you have any insects?
I have none. I believe the smallest morph I have is the hummingbird.
Okay. Maitea, will you stay in the tunnel as a badger?
Yes. I also don't have a fly.
What do you have?
I got a
How do you not
cockroach.
have a fly?
Does he do a little badger shit?
Yeah.
I mean, I could mix it up if you don't want. I mean, I've got other small stuff. I've got a cockroach. I've got a spider. I've got a mouse. I've got a bat.
Mouse and bat, I think, are too big. But yeah,
Okay.
let's do Kamren, cockroach, Dylan, spider. The rest of us who have flies can go fly. Maitea, you'll stay here and be ready to cover us if anything happens.
Yes. Yes, Prince Savannah.
Yes, Prince Savannah.
Yes, Prince Savannah.
Yeah, Prince Savannah.
You're all monsters.
The bugs are not monsters. Come on.
Not the bugs.
Oh, badgers.
The Badgers. Yeah. If you haven't rolled your bug morph before, do a save, which Aximili hasn't.
Is anybody claustrophobic here?
Nate is.
Nope.
Zach's fine.
Maybe the Andalites are, but I don't want to deal with that right now.
Wow, Austin. Wow.
Maybe while Van is demorphing and remorphing, Zach will be like making the chamber a little bit bigger, just so we can have a little more room. The Andalites are fucking horses. They're gonna have to have more room anyway.
Oh, good. Everybody passed. So we don't have to worry about them running amok in the fuck.
Running a fuck.
Austin, which flies should I use?
Dude, use the one you haven't used yet.
Okay, on it.
That's right. You have multiple flies.
I have multiple flies, which is why it was so bad. I'm like, wasn't Kamren there when this happened?
Give Kamren one of your flies. Why are you being selfish?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Kamren, please take one of my fly morphs.
Too late, dude. I already got these antennas coming out of my head.
I can see it 500 different ways.
What's the difference in them?
None.
None difference?
One is more green than the other one.
Perfect.
So is it bottle fly?
It's just a slightly mutated normal housefly. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja House Flies.
One has a tiny mask. It's red.
Ooh. Oh. So he uses size. Got it. So Zach demorphs and morphs into a fly. And the whole time he just goes gross, 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 gross.
Oh, yeah. Should we describe these?
I can't do an impression of Zach doing an impression of Jeff Goldblum, but imagine that. where he's just going, I'm gonna be a fly. It's fabulous.
We're gonna have flies on this fly tour, right?
I like it.
That's a good call back.
Oh, man. Yeah, and then Dylan, once Zach is tiny, she's going to shuffle her way into the little turnaround. And the first thing you notice is that, like, her eyes split in half. And then she starts growing 4 more above it, smaller ones. And then she starts shrinking down, and her little chelicera sprout. And she gets these little pedipalps on the ends of her fingers, and her arms shrink up, but her fingers jut out, and she loses her thumbs.
So the hands turn into the legs?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I like it. I just like to imagine that Savannah and Kamren, as they're talking that, like, oh man, I'm already going to cockroach. Blah, blah, blah. That's when Savannah says I can see it 1,000 times over, is when her eyes just kind of like split into the multiple fly vision bulging eyes, and that's like the first thing that happens. And then like the big like offshoot hairs kind of start coming out at random, but like at same size as her human body. And then she starts shrinking down, and that's when she gets the kind of cool gossamer pattern on her back that then like 3D lifts up into the wings, and she's scrunched and crunched down, but all of her organs the whole time are just making a like liquefying, bubbling sort of sound as they just dissolve into the fly body goo.
Gross. Is Zach a fly or a cockroach?
Zach's going fly. So Zach's face starts to get really round and puffy, and his hair kind of just melts off, and his eyes get really big. And then suddenly he's got 2 eyes, and then 4 eyes, and then 8 eyes, and then 16 eyes. And they're all still human eyes. And they just start to form a big bubbly mass on the side of his head, and then they all crystallize over and turn red as he still starts to shrink.
Nice.
I could be gross too.
Once he's a fly, I think Dylan is gonna like skitter toward him a little.
I didn't know flies could piss their pants, but turns out poo came out.
Just kidding. Just JK.
Nothing funnier than pretending to eat your friends. Ha 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 ha.
Aximili, there's a circle that forms where his mouth should be, and his proboscis starts to grow, and then after the circle, he morphs into the rest of the fly.
That was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sufficiently grossed out. How's everyone else?
I'm a cockroach. I can't see that well.
Okay, that's fine. You don't need to see any of this. Yeah, in hindsight, how is the cockroach going to help us spy on stuff?
Going down low,
Okay.
listening on the ground, staying out of sight. We're going to go up high. And Dylan, you're going to crawl to wherever you can get to and tell us what you can see.
She's gonna take her little front paw up and go, aye, aye, Captain.
Yes, Prince Savannah. Bzzz. Zach leaves.
You may all hop on my back if you like. That was Matea.
Zach's already gone. Zach took off. But I guess if he hears that, he'll sit back and be like, cool. And then sit down.
Thank you, Matea.
Yeah, Dylan's gonna crawl up.
Kamren also does.
She gets up on her head and she's like, forward.
Starts moving down the tunnel, get you guys to the place you need to go, and a bunch of bugs just fled out of a hole. Roll perception checks.
Okay.
Suck my perceptive
Hell yeah.
lollipop.
Nice.
Aximili, Savannah, and Zach all fly out. They don't flutter, they buzz out. And you guys start to fly around. It's hard to get the lay of this whole place because you can only see so far in front of you, and you have to get a little bit closer to things to see. So you all do see like the initial stuff that Zach saw when he went in. Dylan, as you climb up and get a better view of the area, you can kind of see past where this big lift is and get to a place where you can see into the observation area. So what you notice is there are more doors that kind of line this place around here. So there's a door on the left wall to the south, and there's another door on the wall that you all came into a little bit more south than you. Also right behind this to like the north, in between this little generator thing and this box. You also notice there are a couple other people walking around on the other side of the lift. There's 2 humans and a Hork-Bajir that carries a big rifle-looking Dracon Beam. Inside the observation area, you can now see that room that kind of looks over this whole massive area down here is reinforced with like those metal walls that you guys seen out in the Yeerk pool room, except the part that faces out into the room is all windows that they kind of look out, and you can see that there's 2 more humans in there, a Hork-Bajir that are basically three beings that look down on you all. 2 of them are human, 1 is Hork-Bajir, and then there's another Hork-Bajir standing in the back of that room that looks to be like on guard. There's also a bunch of different crates and just supplies that are in this big room with you all. And I will say, Matea, as she like looks out and sees things from the badger hole, she'll say, those devices, the ones that have all the wires connected to them in that big pipe, they must run power, water, different wiring, and other necessities around this whole base. With generators that big, they could sustain power down here for a few years. It's possible that they would use those generators to power the holograms up top as well, like as a backup source.
I think probably the reason that nobody else can see all this is that Dylan is just like skittering around, stream of consciousness, just relaying literally everything as she jumps from thing to thing. She's relaying every single detail that she sees, rapid fire.
And with Dylan doing that, you guys can start to get the sense of the things that you're seeing as you fly around.
So, the generator's down here, so we no longer think that taking out a generator up top would cause the building to glitch out in the way that we were expecting.
Matea will say, no, they should glitch out if you hit the generators up there. They would have to reroute the power from down here to up there.
Great, so we'll have time. Is there any way that we could get the doors around this room to lock so that they would not be opened while we are down here causing mayhem?
We would need access to a terminal, I assume, but there could be a way. I don't know that they can't override it from the room up there.
I did see a terminal earlier, it's like in the middle of the room.
Yeah, you guys notice that too as you fly around.
Perhaps if we can spare the firepower for a moment, that might be a good move.
Or, after.
Well, once we are attacking up top, they can.
Yeah.
So, what are we going to use? What morphs should we use to implant these crystals? And what morphs can we use to do that and access these terminals?
If only there was a battle morph that had thumbs.
Yeah, but you're going to be up top.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could swap.
You want to come down here?
I'm just saying. It's an option. We've also got the Andalites.
Right. Currently, I think the way that I was planning on doing this was having Aximili, Zach, and myself up top, and we are going to cause as big of a ruckus as we can. Hopefully that would draw away most of the people in the Hork-Bajir in this room, and then Kamren, Maitea, Dylan, you would be down here setting the explosives and fighting whoever you had to. You have some firepower with Kamren. You have Maitea with the explosives. Dylan, you can run whatever you want to run. Grab the crystal, fighting whatever you need to do. But that leaves us with Maitea. If you're willing to go Andalite, you should have the ability to plant the bombs and also access the console. And Dylan, I believe you also have a morph with thumbs. Do you not have the lemur? Not that would be a great battle morph.
I do. It's agile at least. And if Maitea is telling me what to do, then I can probably work anything out that needs to be done.
Yes, I can tell you everything that needs to be done. I can walk you through the process. Savannah, roll me an insight check.
Okay. 14.
So I'll say, as you're seeing this room now, from where you can see now, you don't see any quick way up. So as far as like the part of your plan where you all attack up top, hopefully that would draw people from this room. I think it's safe to say that they probably wouldn't be able to get up there in time to do anything.
They don't need to get up there in time to do anything. They just need to leave the room. Well, Zach, if we want to make the switch so that you could have your orangutan down here to plant the bombs, Dylan, you could come up top with us and cause mayhem.
I'm always down for shock and awe.
I'm good. Wherever you want me, boss.
Maitea, you said there was only a 10-second timer on those bombs? At most.
Correct.
Is there any way to rig one for longer?
I would need a few of your Earth minutes and be in my own body.
No problem. All right. Then perhaps we can plant a bomb down here in one of the other rooms that would draw them away from this area. And then if we could get in and lock the doors. I guess it doesn't have to be far if we can get access to that console. If we place everybody correctly, we could toss one into the Kendrona room. Get rid of one of their Kendronas.
We'll need a space to morph quick enough.
Right? That's the problem. And Savannah's gonna keep flying through this room and start looking for behind crates, areas that are in this space that look like they could potentially be secure enough.
So yeah, as you fly around and Dylan's basically gave you the lay of the land now, you can see everything. There are places to get behind crates where you could demorph and potentially no one would see you. But there are also people walking around checking the different supplies and things. So, it's a gamble. It would be a gamble morphing behind anything in this room and hoping they didn't see you. I will say with Dylan's crit on her perception, you don't see cameras in here. Everything looks pretty new. This all has, it has taken them a while to do this, but it doesn't look like they're fully set up here yet.
Yeah.
And this observation deck looks over the whole room. So there's probably some blind spots, but it would be tough.
I also care less. It would be good to have it for the surprise factor, but I care less if they catch an Andalite demorphing than I do anyone else on the team. Which is a thought I will keep to myself. Just simply for optics, guys. It's fine.
Yeah, I think one of the things I'm thinking of is the time it takes to demorph. With the patrolling, they might catch him in the middle of a morph. That being said, the last few times you saw Aximili morph, he seems to have gotten a little faster. Oh, Kamren too.
All right. Savannah's just going to keep looking around. Keep thinking this through as we're looking at what's going on down here.
I'll say as you guys inspect a little bit more, you see that the doors that are around these rooms, so the ones up here to the left, top left, are double doors. Same with these ones. and they look to be like metal doors that like swing like normal doors do, but they are locked. Like there's pin pads beside them, like keypads. They swing towards you, like you pull them. This one's a pull to exit.
They swing into this door, into this room.
Yeah.
Is there any space between these doors, or at the top or bottom crack, or could a fly get through these doors right now?
As you like kind of fly up to it and look around a little bit, maybe at the bottom it would be a really tight squeeze. Okay. Like they're not made to be like insect proof or anything like that, but they're fitted pretty close to the doorway. I'll say the doorways are like metal framed and everything, like they've installed them.
Okay. Zach is going to perch on this little piece of machinery here and try to catch somebody going in or out and watch what the keypad combination is.
Okay. There's also a door over here that's just a single door. Same way on hinges. And then over here, there's doors that are sliding doors. They look like they slide into the walls, like to the right and left.
What's this big thing at the bottom?
Where?
Pipes or whatever down at the bottom.
Just a pipe.
The very bottom wall.
That kind of lines the ceiling of the not the ceiling. That's like a little nook that's built in. So about 25 feet up, you see that pipe kind of going. It's built into the wall and going across the room.
If somebody were to crawl up onto it, would they think that it was like liquid or HVAC?
This pipe down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you crawl over to it, you feel it like vibrating a little bit. But other than that, you can't really tell.
Ugh.
It doesn't feel like too hot or cold or anything like that. Zach, I'll say after, I don't know how long you guys are planning. So if I go over the time you plan on looking around in here, so about 5 minutes goes past and nobody goes through that door. This Hork-Bajir will kind of move over here and then go to this side, and I don't know how he gets through that place. Maybe there's like a little stepping ladder that goes over this big tube thing, but he gets over here, he talks to these people. The three down here do like move around to different cargo piles, and they're like sifting through them, just doing busy work.
Savannah's just like buzzing around the room, like commenting on like, behind here is like, this seems large enough. And in the middle of all of it, she goes, Dylan, don't you have a gorilla morph as well?
Yeah, I do.
That solves that problem.
You know they've got thumbs.
No way.
I was saying it to Dylan.
No way.
Yeah, yep, they do. Big old thumbs.
All right, cool. So who's shock and awe and who's taking this out down here?
I think taking it out down here. The gorilla's a little more powerful if you need to move some stuff around.
Okay.
And Zach is good at explosives. So is Maitea, but one on each team.
So I'm back to shock and awe upstairs.
Yeah.
No problem.
If we use the badger morphs a little bit more, maybe we can make like a little room behind where we already broke through. We could blow up the Yeerk pool room as much as we could, and then once they all file into there, we come out of the hole.
I think that makes sense, and we should spend time doing that. And then potentially, if we have instructions, Dylan, if you have instructions on how to use one of the explosives, we could plant Maitea in the room closer to the control panel, where once we draw everybody out, Maitea, if safe, can start demorphing to Andalite and get to that control panel. Unless we don't want to, Savannah says, to the complete silence.
No, it sounds good.
Yeah, we guard Maitea while she does her thing.
Okay, well, let's get back to Badger and start digging, I guess. And we should probably make another exit a little further away in case the explosion gets a little out of hand and collapses our tunnel that's close to the Kendrona room.
Sure. Zach's just gonna fly back towards the tunnel and get in there and start demorphing and morph back to Badger.
I barely got out of this tunnel. I'm just gonna crawl back into it.
I think Dylan is going to skitter over to Kamren and like let out a little bit of web and like stick it to him and be like, come on, and just start pulling him along.
Yes. Keep me on the leash. This is what I needed. I can't lead myself.
Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. Please don't make it weird.
All right, sorry. He follows you back in. Maybe we should have a few different exits. If we have time, I don't know. What's our time looking like?
Any one of the Andalites? Any one of the Andalites who are hopefully keeping track of time.
Yeah, they give you the time. I guess what I mean, what he's asking is, when do you want to do this thing? Like, we'll say it took 3 hours. You guys left at school at like 9. So
it's like, what, 1 in the afternoon-ish?
We'll say, yeah, 1. It's about 1.
Let's dig out this extra space and then we might as well get started.
Zach's already digging.
Sweet. Savannah will come back in, remorph to Badger, and start helping. But during that, privately to Kamren. She's just singularly to Kamren. I'm not sure if that was what you meant by making things better with Dylan, but that was weird.
What? The leash thing?
Yeah, the leash thing.
That was real. I need to be on a leash.
I'm not sure that I'm the appropriate person for you to have this conversation with.
Well, you think I was sassing her?
No, I'm not sure what direction you were going with it. I just didn't think it was effective.
Well, it was like kind of like a joke. Like, you know, me, Kamren, the wild and crazy kid, needs to be on a leash. You get it, Savannah, right?
I do not.
All books. No humor, man.
Yes, that is what they say about me.
So Zach is basically at the switchback where we had demorphed and remorphed, and is basically just working on expanding that room. And I guess whenever Savannah gets there and he sees her, he'll be like, did you want this taller or just wider?
I think wider and then slightly taller. I don't think we have to go too much higher.
Cool.
I was thinking when we get up top that another distraction that we might want to do, you in particular, would be perhaps we could, you know that big stage where they were giving that weird speech the other night?
Yeah.
Do you think we could set it on fire?
Yeah.
That's why I thought you might want to do that job.
Okay.
And as you all dig and plan and prepare for the big mission, that's where we'll end this one.